Welcome to For the Love of Gaming. I'm your host, Proxy, and I'm here today with Toby.
Meow.
Now, you've been gaming for a long time. We've been friends for, geez, what now?
2006, probably.
Yeah, so, 11 years.
Almost 11 years, I want to say.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long
And
time.
there was a point when we were both living together under my parents' roof for a while.
That was so fun.
Working the factory nights, and I remember we'd come home and just do nothing but play Left 4 Dead for many, many hours.
Eat those awful instant Market Basket $1 cheeseburgers.
Oh my god, I remember those.
And eat and play Left 4 Dead. Yeah, it was a good time, honestly, though. I know we were running off of Cumberland Farm juice. It's pretty glamorous. The life of a poor factory worker.
The glam life is just coffee, dollar burgers, and video games.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
But so the point of our podcast is we're going to be talking and interviewing various people that are gamers that are in relationships, either with other gamers or non-gamers, and kind of go through the dynamic of that. Because to a lot of people that do play video games, it's a hardcore ingrained part of you, and sometimes that can pose issues, and sometimes it's fun to talk about those issues.
I guess. Well, no, it actually is, because I think it's one of my main gripes. I mean, I'm currently in a relationship of almost a year with my boyfriend, and he's not a gamer. He's not even a nerd. He barely watches Star Wars, which breaks my heart a little bit.
Oh no!
I know. It's I was like, "Have you ever watched Star Wars?" And he's like, "I mean, kind of." And I'm like, "What do you mean, kind of? There's no kind of with Star Wars."
What, do you watch a commercial for it once?
And you're just like, yeah. He's like, "Well, I know the characters," and I'm just like, that doesn't count. I mean, everybody knows the characters. It's freaking...
It's Star Wars.
It's America.
They're everywhere.
It's America. So, no, he's... So, I mean, it's hard to, I guess it's hard to have, that side of your life as far as, nerdy references. He won't get them. I'll be like, I'm just gonna smash X my whole way through the day. I'm just button smashing. And he's just like, what? What do you mean?
What? Oh, man, I can't even, See, I guess that's why I want to ask, because, my relationship with Annabelle, we're both gamers.
Yes.
So we don't really it doesn't even occur to us, because I say, hey, I want to get a new console, or she'll say, hey, I want to get a new console, and the other is just like, yeah, do it.
Right.
Great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And, we spend a lot of time playing video games, so we never get into those different point of views, I guess, as far as, you spend too much time doing this, it's a waste of your time, or anything like that.
He's very supportive in the sense that he likes to watch, which I love.
That's good.
When I play Call of Duty, because I've been a massive Call of Duty bro for since the beginning of time, I want to say. So basically, he loves to watch that. Sometimes he'll send me snapshots where he'll binge play that, because he'll be like, oh, I just hopped on the Xbox One and this happened, and I'm just like, well, that's what happens when you play video games, is you get sucked into the world, and it's awesome. But yeah, I'm dragging him more and more into the world. I'm just like, babe, let's look at this preview from E3, and he's just like, oh, that looks really pretty, and I'm like, well, you can play it too, and he's just like, oh, well, maybe we could, because I have to get him another controller so that we can be multiplayer at our house. So I mean, I'm dragging him slowly into the world of nerdisms. He's actually a lot more nerdy than he was when I first started dating him, so...
That's good. It's a slow but steady process.
I'm converting him slowly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's how you have to do it. I mean, I'm from that crowd. I'm old as shit, even though I don't look like it. I'm from that crowd where, 2001 Kingdom Hearts was, the best thing ever to happen to my PS2.
I remember those days.
Yeah, and I would restart the game just to watch the opening credits and listen to Simple and Clean by Utada Hikaru. just to, listen to it and, rock out for, the first 2 minutes and then just restart the game.
That was a
again.
time before YouTube came around and you could find everything on YouTube. I say before, but it was a time before YouTube was just everything.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So
it's the ultimate, it's almost like the Wikipedia of, videos. You want to find, videos of cats playing the bongos, you go to YouTube.
If you want to find cats playing piano,
you want to find
YouTube.
You want to find that obscure cutscene that you haven't seen in, 10 years of, that one game you played for, 3 hours straight at a friend's house? YouTube. Actually, speaking of that, I actually was driving to work the other day, and I was, scrolling through my, suggested videos.
Yep.
And I found the song Final Distance by Utada Hikaru, the Planet B remix, which is super obscure. I don't even know if most people know, but it's a bomb-ass remix. And I was like, oh my god, I haven't heard this since I was 12. Like, this is like my weeaboo days. I don't know if I can be a weeaboo, though, because I'm actually Asian. But I was just, like, rocking out, and it was all in, like, Japanese. And I'm like, I don't understand a word, but this is amazing. I feel like I'm 12 again.
The good old days.
Yeah, and Matt doesn't have those moments, because he doesn't really. I don't know.
Is he more business-minded, or, like, what are his hobbies that... and do you get involved with his hobbies?
I mean, I've developed a love for interior decorating. It's very.
I can't blame you there because it's especially when you're doing game spaces, like
right. I mean,
but of course that's where my brain immediately goes.
Right. No, and I love that. I love that about like observing that about you. He is more like minimalist, very current and modern, and he loves nice things, so he doesn't spare any expense. So like I'm perfectly fine going to like Family Dollar and getting one of those cheapy ass like plaques that says love in Japanese and like putting it on the wall and be like, oh, that looks nice. And he's just like, that is so freaking ghetto, I can't even. And I'm just like, well, it was.
When did you become a white chick?
Yeah, it's like it's $5. I don't have to spend like 20.
And then I hang it on the wall and everything looks beautiful, right?
Right, and I'm Asian, so this is valid. But he's just like, no, that is disgusting. I go to local artists. I'm like, you're very gay, but it's okay. We've actually sort of had a mishmash at home as far as game decor and like gaming stuff. Like he'll let me have my little spaces where I can just totally nerd out, and I'll have like figurines of stormtroopers and like little anime things or video game. He actually really likes Assassin's Creed too as well and Battlefront. So I can't really complain too much about he'll like watch me do Hope playthroughs and I'll be obsessive about them. Like I just beat Sunset Overdrive, which is an amazing game.
I've heard, but I have not played it.
It's so good. It's so good.
It looked very bright.
It's bright, but like honestly, I thought it was going to be a pile of shit because it was like $9 at GameStop, and I was like, fuck it. It's $9. And then I played it, and I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever happened. And then I looked it up online, and they were like, there's going to be no sequel. And I was like, sad face for the rest of the day because I was so ready for it to like have another sequel. And it wasn't. I definitely recommend it. Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check it out.
You really should. The gameplay is amazing. It's a little hard to get used to, but the mechanics are awesome. So.
Is that Xbox One exclusive?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have an Xbox?
Therein lies my problem.
Might be on. No, I was about to say it might be on Steam, but it's probably not.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people are like, oh, it's a Sony household. It's like, no, it's a gaming household. I'll play whatever.
Well, that's.
I don't have. I have slightly stronger allegiance towards Sony because I grew up with the PS1, but we'll play anything. Annabelle's the Nintendo family member.
You're actually the reason why I converted to Xbox. So I blame you for my conversion. And now I can't do anything good on a PS. Like, you hand me a PS4 controller, and I'm like, herp, derp, 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 derp. Can't, like, even aim a gun in Call of Duty. And that, like, kills me. It kills my soul.
So actually, that's another good question is, does he play games with you? Like, do you actually observe when he's playing?
I mean, he did grow up, like, during his later teenage years, he has played, like, Call of Duty with his friends. I mean, that's pretty much, like, a thing. And then he's very familiar with, like, Metal Gear Solid and sort of, like, the older cult games.
Yeah.
You know, like, those there's an era of games where, like, just everybody played them. He's really into Halo, too, actually. He's like, yeah, I love Halo. So I bought him the, I think we found it on GameStop for like $25, but it was like the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
I bought it for him, and he like plays it nonstop.
Nice.
So he can. I'm like, there's a nerd in you.
I was gonna ask, is it painful to watch and play games
no.
for someone who doesn't play games a lot?
He's actually really good.
That's good.
He's actually like surprisingly good because like, but he's so weird. He's so methodical about like I'm usually the guns blazing. I'll take an assault rifle on like Call of Duty, and I'll just go in and just like stab everybody, and then like shoot everybody in the head, and like have a complete massacre on my hands. And he'll just like hide with a shotgun and be a complete dickhole to whoever like passes him. But he's very methodical and slow about it. It's very interesting to see how, you know, and he hates like the new mechanics of like jumping and sliding on walls. Like he hates that. He makes him dizzy.
Was that like the new Call of Duty thing?
Yeah, like where you can kind of like run, like kind of do Matrix style shooting.
Yeah.
Which is like really disorienting if you're a non-gamer, and he like hates it. He hates when I do it, and he's like, oh god, that's making me so sick right now. He's just like, babe, can you stop running on walls? And I'm just like, no.
Don't let him watch you play Mirror's Edge.
Akimbo everywhere. You know, I think the contrast between you and Annabelle is like, I actually do like envy the camaraderie that comes with being a video gamer, because like no one understands a gamer more than another gamer. You can meet, like, especially at cons, you know, you have that camaraderie where you like look at a gamer and like, oh my god, the graphics on this thing was so great, like the boob jiggle though, and they're gonna be like, yes, the boob jiggle. But if I look at Matt, I'm like, wow, the graphics on this are beautiful. He's like, yeah, I guess the colors are pretty.
Oh man.
Yeah, he'll just be like, oh, I guess it looks nice. I mean, the trees are great. And I'm like, what do you mean the trees? Like the leaves, they're moving. Do you know how long it took for those leaves to move?
Yeah, I feel like when you've grown up from the days of the NES until present graphics, you start to notice a lot of those little things. Especially when you spend so much time in the game worlds.
Right. And I think honestly being a gamer is something you kind of have to grow up with. I mean, I don't discriminate against people who are just getting into the scene or just like have fallen in love because they're able to, because, you know, depending on financial situations. Right. He and I had a very different financial situation growing up. So he actually wasn't around video games because, you know, like certain aspects of his life, just he wasn't allowed to. And whereas I had every single console known to man, we had the PS1, we had the PS2, we had the Xbox, we had the GameCube, we had like the Super Nintendo, like all at the same time because my brothers were crazy about it too. So I was consistently surrounded by it. And he wasn't. So he's just like, I could really give a crap less about it. But he's like, but they're nice. It's fun. I mean, but he can't do like 10-hour long dives into it. Right. He has to go outside.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. So
outside's all right. The graphics are really good, but the gameplay sucks.
Yeah, you can't really level up as fast as you like. And if you hurt yourself, it really hurts.
That, and if you try and like loot things off people, they get really angry about it.
I actually was talking to you about that the other day because oh god, I was kind of broke. And disclaimer, I'm not a psychopath.
Not a psychopath, just not video game minded.
Yes, exactly. That should be a shirt. But literally, I was like, wouldn't it be great if we were like in Grand Theft Auto and all we needed to do for money was run over a bunch of whores?
Oh man.
Car. And just like come out outside the car and just pick up the money and be like, oh, well, I'm $300 richer now.
It would get really dangerous to drive in Fitchburg.
Yeah.
More than it already is.
I know. Or like, if you just want a new car, just pull up over to the side and just pull somebody out of it. You just take it, drive off.
Because that's how it works, apparently.
I don't know. I don't know how it'd feel if the real world had cheat codes, though. I think I'd be a little angry at times.
Probably, but then everyone could have the infinite money cheat code, and it wouldn't matter anymore.
No, money would never be, like, it's not a commodity anymore. But that's a completely different podcast, I'm sure. No, it's interesting because, like, he and I will go, like, I have dated nerds before. And I can say that, you know, makes the experience of dating them exponentially more fun, just because our interests are so aligned. Like, my previous ex was very nerdy, and we both very much enjoyed the same things. We would go to anime cons together. We would watch, like, countless hours of anime together. However, this one, if we'll be in Boston and I see, like, a otaku store or, like, a wicked anime manga store, he's like, oh, no. And I'll, like, run away in the place. He's like, I'll be in the Starbucks down the street. You go do your thing. Because, like, it doesn't compute to him. He doesn't, like, hate on the fact that I like it. It doesn't make sense to him. Which
I'm sure definitely helps, because I'm sure it'd be a completely different story if you ended up with someone that's like, no, this is childish and you need to forget about it.
Right. I mean, I think he was kind of defensive about that when we first started dating. He just didn't get it. He was just like, why do you like these things? And I'm just like, because they make me happy. But he wasn't hateful. He's just like, oh, okay, like, I guess, I mean, I accept this about you, I just don't get it. But, I mean, I think he thinks that my Star Wars obsession is a little extreme. But for that, I mean, I think for anybody, my Star Wars obsession is really extreme. So, I can't fault him for that. I think his interior design and his need to look at, like, houses is extreme. So, I mean, it's a fair trade. I find his real life need to level up is, like, exponentially boring than my need to, like, level up in video games. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. So even being a gamer and, like, with a non-gamer, we still clash. And I think he sometimes gets irritated about that. But
it still works out, though.
It still works out. I mean, we're very much in love, so it's not...
Where do you guys find, like, where do you draw your common ground?
We draw our common ground in, like, dogs. and cats, and our love to go out to eat and be foodies together. Like, we've reached a very common ground where we can be nerdy about the same things. Like food, we love to go out, try completely like off the beaten path restaurants. We love to cook together. We like to like watch movies, that like documentaries and stuff like that on Netflix. And then like we both have the same level of ambition as far as like where we want to be in life and how we want to grow as people. So it's definitely healthy. And he's very supportive, and he's very understanding about like how I am. So I don't know. I think it works. I do miss the nerdiness, though. I think it's like something that if you can find it and it works for you, you should definitely try to keep it in a relationship. Date who you want to date, I guess. I kind of wish he was a little bit more nerdy, but
Maybe in time.
I'm trying.
It's one step at a time, I guess.
I got him really excited for Call of Duty because he really likes the war games. He likes that. There's the World War II game coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's really excited for that because he's a wicked like World War II nerd.
Even I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm not generally a Call of Duty fan.
No, you're not. Also, when you share like a household with somebody who's a non-gamer, I kind of have to cater to both of our interests because he's not going to want to sit through like Persona. That's
reasonable, I guess.
Like Persona,
it's a very long game.
It's a
and
long
if you're not
game.
into that kind of thing.
No,
then...
right. And I don't want to make him go through that because he usually does really like to watch what I do. And I always look at him, I'm like, are you bored? Because I would just be like twitching on the couch uncontrollably, like, oh my god, grab the crate and run.
You're playing it wrong. Give me the controller.
Give me the controller. Like, I'm such a control freak about that. And he's just like, no. But he'll backseat drive a little bit. He's like, babe, no, you're supposed to jump and shoot the thing, because I'll like die like 50 times during a boss fight. And he's just like, no, you have to do it this way. And then I'll do it that way, and it works.
Have you guys tried Left 4 Dead?
You know what? I don't know what happened to my copy, and it's like $40.
They're still really expensive.
I know.
I mean, they're really good, but they're still really expensive.
I think you can download it off the marketplace.
Probably. If it's one of the ones that's backward compatible, you can always borrow mine.
I think it is, but also we still have to get another controller. That's like the biggest thing, and controllers are not cheap.
They're
Xbox One.
Quite expensive.
That's another thing that prevents us from like actually gaming together. Is just it's like $60 for a new controller, $30 for used, but you're really like you're taking a big risk when it comes to used controllers, because you don't know if it's a 12-year-old that just smashed it against the wall and just
right. Someone that got really upset playing like Dark Souls or something and just like kept banging the controller off of
right
the table or what have you.
Yeah, which is why I prefer to just, and he wants a new one. He's like, if I'm gonna buy a controller, I'm not gonna buy a used one. I'm gonna buy a new one. So
hey, I mean, at least he's on board with it, though.
no, he is. Like, he definitely, like, I've been meaning to actually pick up Star Wars Battlefront because he's super amped about that. He used to play that all the time with his dad. So he does have, like, some gaming memories, and I'm trying to, like, cling onto them and, like, pull it out of his person. Like, come on.
Right.
You're a nerd. I know you're a nerd. You got this. Come on. Like, come on. So, it's fun. It's fun to watch someone discover new things. I just got him into YouTubing. He hated YouTube when we first started dating. He's like, oh babe, why are you watching these people? Like, they're so stupid. And now
I don't understand why you watch other people's lives.
And now, yeah, exactly. And now I last night I like went downstairs to turn off the TV, and he was watching Rhett and Link.
Oh my god, they're so great though.
Right. But he like loves Good Mythical Morning now.
Awesome.
He loves it. He loves watching the Will It like Fry videos, or he thinks it's hilarious when they're in like a lot of pain.
Oh yeah.
Because it is. So he's like really into that. He's gotten into Jenna Marbles. Sometimes I'll try to do game theory with him, but then he just goes on his phone. He looks really bored, and I'm like, you're not. This is a whole new level. Like, game theorist is like next level.
It is. It's like if you want to take critical thinking and your passion for gaming and cram them into one thing.
It's nerd heaven.
I
absolutely thoroughly enjoy game theory, but he does not.
Mildly off topic.
Yes.
So Game Theorist has a show called Game Lab for YouTube Red. Yes. And I have a free YouTube Red pass for the next 3 months. Ooh. So I was like, I'm checking this out. He had one where they did a real-life version of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh no, oh my god.
Guess who he pulled in for one of his guest stars?
Markiplier?
No. Surprisingly, you would think he would have got Markiplier because he's the king of Five Nights.
Seriously, though?
No, Rob Dyke.
Oh.
Everyone's favorite gardener YouTuber.
Oh god.
I keep seeing him in random places around Gardner, and like Like,
Sometimes
I saw him, passed him at Price Chopper the other day, and I wanted to go, oh my god, it's Rob Dyke, but I was like, I'm gonna just like let him live his life.
Yeah, because it's like we're both local. We're all local boys, so.
Right.
So that's so cool that we have like a local hometown like nerd hero.
Yeah, so he's got well over 2 million subs now.
That's great.
So he's built his channel from like nothing.
Right.
Which I'm really happy about because it just shows that it's all about the content, not your location. I don't have to move out to Hollywood or
right.
anywhere out in California just to do YouTube stuff.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of YouTubers that are more social media entrepreneurs, like, you know, like, let's see, Jenna Marbles and like Julian Solomita, that's like the couple that does like Jenna Marbles. They're awesome. They're actually wicked big nerds. They have actually like a really awesome gaming channel, and it's like Jenna Marbles is like a huge like nerd.
You know, it's crazy to see how many people that do like daily vlogging or other series are also migrating into the gaming channels. They're like, we made a second channel for gaming.
Yes.
Again, Rob Dyke, he did that. He has a separate channel where they do gaming.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to connect with people. And
right. And also, there's I do want to plug another super awesome nerd couple. Is that this is like basically how I've sort of not indoctrined, but like inspired Matthew to be like more nerdy with me, is to watch other couples be nerdy together, and he's just like, oh, that actually looks fun. I'm like, haha, that's a nerdy thing, so you like it. You like it. And he's just like, shut up.
Look at all the fun we could be having.
Literally, though. So we'll watch Simon and Martina, which is Eat Your Kimchi. They're a couple that lived you have to watch them. If you haven't watched them, I
have not. I'm going to have to look it up.
They're huge nerds, and they're so much fun to watch. They live in Japan now. I'll show it to you probably after this podcast, but they live in Japan now, but they used to live in Korea, and they did a bunch of things about like how is it like living in Korea, like this is different food chains, we're gonna go to food chains and like eat stuff and that side. So he's actually started to say, hey babe, like let's get a good camera and let's go to like places around New England and let's film ourselves doing that. And he's actually set up a studio for me at my house, and we're gonna start our own little YouTube thing.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I used to be like a really big YouTube presence myself, but I mean, it's died.
Yeah, I remember your channel.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
up. We need to get back into doing that, man.
Yeah, it's that Asian kid, I think.
Are you continuing to? Are you gonna try and revive the old channel, or you think you're gonna start something fresh?
I mean, I have 1,000.
I mean, you can do the same. Like, you can start something fresh on the same channel, but
right. It's mostly right now. It's mostly really crappy. I think I just need to get a better camera and a better setup, because I do want to be a little bit more professional this time around if I do a revamp, because
it seems like that's the kind of thing that you and Matt, right?
Yeah.
That you guys could probably connect on too if he's into that, like if we're doing this, we're doing it right.
Right.
So kind of collaborating on like the kind of setup and equipment and stuff like that would be a really good bonding point.
Well, he's wicked OCD about that kind of stuff, so he's just like, we need to get the tripod, we need to get like the best background, the lighting. So he's sort of more like my technical guy, and I'm just like, I just want to dream.
On a side note, if you need tech recommendations, let me know.
Yes. No, actually, I was going to ask you about that. So, but also, like, it's just a thing. It's, I don't know. We have a lot of ideas bouncing around. It's just more like finding the time.
Yeah.
Because we both work 40-hour-a-week jobs, and we both work 8 to 5. So, I mean, it works. But
so you work like the same shift?
We do work the same shift, actually.
I'm assuming different places.
Yes. I work out of Leominster, and he works out of Athol. So, I mean, but we were pretty much, like, on the same schedule. So it's nice to come home and sort of like unwind, because at the end of my day, I really don't want to think at all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my mental capacities are just, I want to watch a cartoon and like not do anything with my life, which is kind of a shame, but
good times though.
Yes.
So I guess in wrapping it up, any advice that you have for people who are, you know, hardcore gamers at heart, and you know, maybe they're thinking about dating someone and maybe it's a bigger issue than it should be for them, like, I don't know if I want to get into this, but it sounds like you started from he wasn't really into gaming, and you've kind of like worked it a little bit. It's been probably a lot of time and dedication to kind of pull that out.
You have to be sneaky about it, but I think I like to say to my, if you can't accept me at my otaku, you don't deserve me at my like final evolved form of awesome. But no, it's I think you should always be yourself. No matter what in a relationship, you shouldn't change, because I certainly haven't. I've definitely stuck to my guns about being nerdy and being like excited over like toy guns that crop up in GameStop. I'm like the Halo gun, and then there's the Omni Blade, and I'm just like, God, and he's just like, it's $30 of plastic. And I'm just like, but
like,
it's the Omniblade, though.
You don't understand the shape this plastic's in.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you're going to have those moments, but as long as they're supportive and healthy about it and they don't put you down or condescending about it, I don't see there's not really an issue. As long as they're supportive. I think you should always make sure that the person you're dating is supportive of whatever you do and that you reach an understanding that sometimes they may not like what you like, and sometimes you might find the stuff that they like is completely fucking boring. So it's all about compromise. It's all about the middle ground. Yep.
Well, thanks for being my guinea pig for episode 1 of For the Love of Gaming.
Yas.
And we'll talk to you guys again in the next episode.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Thanks for listening.